So let's get started. In our agenda today, we're going to plan for a league kickoff. We'll go over some proposed summer schedules and share a template with you as our first tool of the day. Next, we'll talk about the development of a league bowler. We'll take a quick look inside the brain of a league bowler. We'll also give you a new league development program, turnkey, have you everything you need. I'll tell you, it could be sponsored by the Texas Cattle Ranchers Association because it has meat. So let's start getting right in here. Oh, you know what I forgot? I forgot why you're really all here. You're here to learn how you can earn a $100 gift card, aren't you? I know who you are. Well, let's get started. Does anyone here currently use a type of planner for their fall summer kickoff? Before we get into this, let's actually take a quick little poll of who has an actual plan in place. If you can answer which of these answers are most appropriate to you. We'd like to hear your opinion. So go ahead and click which is the most appropriate for your bowling center. Got a few more people here to vote. Over 80% of you have voted. Got a few more to vote. Because once I close it, you can't come back and vote. Okay, I'm not going to wait forever. There's a few more seconds here. May have somebody having difficulty figuring it out, how to vote. And we won't count Toby Brown. He doesn't count. All right, I'm going to close this, and we'll dive back in here. What you see on your screen now is a template that we're going to provide for you that you'll be able to download at the conclusion of this presentation. This is, if you've never had one before, you can create your own, but we'll provide this one as a starting point for you. It's a way of using your past information, current information, and future information to help grow your league programs. You'll see here this is actually timed out for the summer session. It has everybody signing on and having everybody part of the program, not just your general manager, but your league coordinator, your managers, your head mechanic, everybody signing on that this is our goal for the season. So we're going to forecast our bowlers. What are we looking for? How many senior league bowlers, junior league bowlers, adult bowlers, and how many do we have for last year? So how many we just start with? And then how are we going to grow this? List any new leagues that did not bowl last summer and that will start before June 2013. Or I guess you'd say 2013 is the official way of saying that, isn't it? You also have some important dates. How we're going to telemarket this, how we're going to do it. And telemarketing still is an important way of reaching out to your bowlers. If you don't have that in plan, it is still something that is used on a regular basis. And then putting down on paper some of your suggested marketing programs. You're going to have a couple league ideas, a corporate coupon program, maybe a Bowlopolis party, maybe Camp Bowlopolis, a lot of different options. And then your timeline. Yes, okay, today is March 12th, but in the South, we may start things a little bit earlier than in the North because the seasons may go longer. Depending on your particular timeline, these numbers can change. It's not that we've missed any dates, but if you got started tomorrow, you can get a good start on your summer league base. So as you go through here, there's the whole template, and just so you know, that is downloadable. We'll give you that link here before we're ending today. So let's take a look at the results here in place, and I have to say, I'm quite proud of you guys that we have 60% of the people on the call today that have already got something in place and moving. That means you're not too far behind the curve at all. In fact, you're probably ahead of the curve. And as some of you, this is new to you, the whole industry. Maybe you're new to the industry. We have a few people that are just getting started here. So let me get my screen back here for you and close that. Okay, let's talk about the development of a league bowler. What is the life cycle of a league bowler, of just a bowler in general? Do people wake up in the morning and just decide they want to join a league? Well, we all know the answer to that. But is it genetics? Do people bowl because of genetics? I'm not sure you're aware that in testing at the Olympic Training Center, bowlers often outperform other athletes in mental acuity. Well, a recent brain scan of league bowlers shows a remarkable find that this just might be genetic. If you haven't seen this before, it might blow you away. Yes, there is the bowling lobe to the brain. We all knew about the frontal lobe, the occipital lobe, and the temporal lobe, and the frontal lobe. Actually, I didn't know about that, but I do know now that there is a bowling lobe. I hear the groans. We do have to compete with the distractions somehow. Online instruction is tough competing with life happening in the background, all those phone calls and everything else. And by the way, Gerald, I see you. Put that down. Can you get back to here? Come on. Thank you. All righty. Let's talk about the life cycle of a bowler. Some people don't think about this, and you think about the how many times you just walk up to somebody and, hey, you want to join a league? Well, we got to think about, are they willing to make that jump? Where is their stage in the learning process or the bowling process? I didn't say learning, actually. Our goal is to get non-bowlers to come bowl, then to get more bowlers to bowl 1 to 2 times per year and make them frequent casuals. These can be the guy who bowls a couple times a week at his lunch hour, or that starlight bowler that comes most every week. That's that frequent casual. They're already there. Once we have them coming in regularly, we know we need to get them to convert into league bowlers and more. But how do we do that? How do we move people from the casual to league in the life cycle? We do sampling at all levels. We just never think of it this way. Sampling is done to non-bowlers using free games. Sampling is done to casual bowlers to get them to become casual frequent bowlers by offering them buy one get ones, or BOGOs as the industry likes to call them. Well, we do sampling also in leagues. Well, the sampling in leagues is simply short season leagues. But remember, we don't want to mix those first-time league bowlers with avid league bowlers. This is truly a recipe for disaster. I think we've all been there. You know, studies show that short season programs get them in and the instruction keeps them coming back. With the partnership with the entire International Bowling Campus was created Bowling 2.0. Bowling 2.0 is a short 4-week program with instruction provided. Upfront payment, if any, versus typical weekly fees. I know a lot of people running Bowling 2.0 that aren't charging anything at all. But again, an upfront fee, just like you would do for maybe a soccer program that you may be, adult soccer program you're playing, or a softball program, all those front fees are up front. People are used to paying that. No reason why not to charge them. And then on that 5th week, you want to roll them over into a short season, an 8-week or a 10-week program, so that you can keep them rolling. So if 4 plus 8, that's a 12-week league, and you can roll them right from the summer all the way into a fall league. This Bowling 2.0 is available today from the BPAA online access store for only $49 plus shipping. Once you have the Bowling 2.0 materials, all are available for download from the My BPA section of BPAA.com. Talking about 8-week leagues, 8-week programs, the newest package of the 8 for 8 is ready to ship if you're interested in getting started with the newest 8 for 8. If you have any questions about this Strike 10 Entertainment sponsored program, please feel free to contact the STE team at the number on your screen. I know Toby Brown, the director, is on the call today, and hopefully we'll be able to answer any questions for us if you have any, but feel free to call them at the end of this call and get your newest 8 for 8. Okay, enough with the potatoes. I told you we had meat. So let's get on to the meat. Let's start with Uncle Bart's Can't Miss Summer League program. It's called dun, da, 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 the Managers Invitational League. Managers Invitational Leagues are designed to be short, fun leagues where the select fall league bowlers are personally invited to bowl with the proprietor or the manager as a special invitation only league. The key to the success of this program is that it has to be a personal invitation from you. The format should be a fun and include all of the following, or any of the following, whichever works best for you. Discount lineage, weekly prizes, immediate gratification for people is huge, especially when you're trying to get them to bowl that one extra league. Weekly food and drink specials that are specific to that league, and a beat the manager incentive. And that's the fun part. So, but I hear you asking, what about that person that comes up to you and feels slighted because they didn't get invited? Well, that's really easy. Lie. Really? You didn't get one? You were supposed to. Let me see what happened. Or, better yet, have a couple of them have these invitations in your pocket and say, yes, I know I have yours right here. I wanted you to bowl with me on my team. Think about it. Wouldn't that be a great problem to have? When was the last time you had someone come up to you and beg to bowl in a league? But be careful. You don't want your team to have too competitive a mindset. Remember, if you're going to do a beat the manager incentive, you want your team to lose about half the time. So you got to be careful with that one. Here's a sample card, also be available in our download for you. I'm going to send, when I send you this link, you'll have the ability to download this both in Adobe Illustrator and in a PDF file. For those of you, you can edit those as you will so that you can put your personal information on there. This is just a low-res sample for you. You'd want to print this on a pretty good cardstock, probably an 80-pound cardstock, because you want it to have some quality, that it's a special invitation. Just as a note, I know I'm moving pretty fast to this information, that a PDF of this PowerPoint slide from this presentation is also in that folder that you'll receive in the chat box. But I'll also include a link in an email following the presentation. But remember to download these quickly, as this is just a temporary link, but all of this will be hosted eventually at bowlinguniversity.net. I know we're moving fast, but we promised you new bowlers in 30 minutes. So we're about 15 minutes in. We got to keep moving. All right. Next is the BPA's new best practice guide. If you haven't seen this, this was a compilation from a lot of people around the industry. It is filled with proven league formats and retention ideas from many successful proprietors from all around the country. So if one doesn't necessarily meet your ideas, something else might. There's also, to download this, I'll have this in our files in that Dropbox file I'll send you. But also, this is available an electronic copy always at mybpaa.com. As a side note, this is twice now we've referred to the MyBPA section of the bpa.com. I'd like to take this opportunity to survey you and see how many of you have actually participated at the MyBPA or bpa.com. If you could take just a moment to select the most appropriate answer for you and your facility and how you've used the MyBPA section of the bpa.com website. Wow, you guys voted quick this time. Look at that. And half the time, now you know you got polls and know how to use them. I'm impressed. Again, we're not going to wait for Toby Brown. He's probably doing something else while he's actually supposed to be working, so he probably should be working. All right, so let's take a look at this. Since many of you said you visited a time or two and not seen it, here you'll see on the screen is the BPAA page. If you were to type bpaa.com, and here up at the top corner, you see this My BPAA section. It's right up underneath the home and underneath the mission statement of the BPAA. If you click on that, you'll see that you have a login, and I'm actually going to use, Gerald, you're here, so I'm going to use yours if that's okay. I hope you don't mind. And that's Gerald's member number, and okay, don't memorize that because I don't want everybody logging in as Gerald. We'll have to change your password, Gerald. But your default password as a BPAA member is, you ready? You got a pen. Ready? Everybody listening? Ready? It's tough. You got to remember it. BPAA. Got it? I know it's a tough one to remember, but remember, username is your member number. Password is BPAA. So now we're inside behind the wall, as you'd call it. This is the protected area that you have to be a member to get to this information. And as a member benefit to you, we have all of this stuff to download. We have some marketing and online tools over here on the right-hand side. We have the results from the business trends that we had from the survey that was done last year. All of the virtual training that is provided from the BPA prior to the Bowling University umbrella, all of that is still available here within this wall. All the Go Bowling print materials, all of this stuff is here. But I want to direct you to, up here at the top, remember you got that 2.0 download that I was talking about? Right there at the top. But where I'm going to take you today is see this league development materials right here in the middle? Click those downloads. You click that downloads and see what happens. You have down here the entire league development brochure, but also 3 different turnkey packages for you. A gratification program which comes with an entire implementation guide, a flyer, retail partnership letter, and then same thing for an Ultimate Choice League. Everything you would need to get this program started is all available to you right there, along with a fundraiser program. Really quickly, I'll show you the results from your survey, and I think you'll see that many of you have visited the website, just haven't really utilized it to your benefit. So we hope that more of you will fall into that bottom selection there in the future, that they use it often, and it's a great resource. And I do agree that I think it is one of BPA's best kept secrets. Okay, I know you're all here wanting to know how you can earn that $100 gift card. Well, do you want to learn even more about what's going on today? This presentation has just scratched the surface of just a couple league building ideas. If you want to go deeper, at the Bowling University School for Bowling Center Management, we cover these and much, much more in much further detail. Any person that comes to management school will also receive a bunch of networking as with their classmates in the school. And with a day and a half of marketing, just think of how much is covered compared to just our 30 minutes today. At the management school, you figure those 9.5 instructional hours just on marketing and event growth, plus the food and beverage and HR and soft skills that are covered. It's so in fact impactful that we in fact guarantee 3 times your tuition in cost savings and revenue generation to your bottom line. So if you pay your $9.99, we guarantee that you'll get $3,000 to your bottom line, or we'll give you that $9.99 back. For attending this presentation today, and then attending the April 2000 School for Bowling Center Management, we'll hand you a $100 gift card when you walk in the door to the reception on April 14th here at the International Training and Research Center. Now, Friday's the 15th, beware the Ides of March. If you register before the 15th, you'll pay only the $9.95 and get the $100 if you're challenged in math like me, that's $8.99 after the gift card. So remember, small center, big center, you can't say that $3,000 to your bottom line is not a big deal. Okay, now back to our regular scheduling programming. In our future sessions, to help strengthen our program, I have one more quick poll for you before we get into the question and answer section of this presentation. We'd like to help and strengthen our program so that we can have the best webinar series for you ever from the BPAA. So just one more poll here. I'd like to know how you plan to utilize this information that we've given you today. Are you planning on using Uncle Bart's Manager's Invitation League? Are you going to use the My BPA section, the BPAA? You're going to use that best practices guide? Are you going to use that kickoff planner? Or are you going to use that $100 gift card from this and the management school? Please select all that apply. While you're still answering those, we have intentionally not scheduled a time for the next session in hopes that we'll get some feedback from you here today as to what would be the best time, day, and topic. As you leave this session, you'll be asked to complete a short, very short, 4-question survey. Shouldn't take you more than 15 seconds to complete to help us continually improve our service to you. So hopefully you'll have an idea of what you're looking for in the future so that we can move forward through this. Let me close that. And all right, as we move into the questions section here, let me see what kind of questions we've had here in our section. Question is, what member number do we use for the BPAA website? I'm a league director and I'm not sure I can use it. You can use it, absolutely. If you're a league director for your bowling center, your proprietor should know your member number. If not, feel free to call the office and ask either anybody in membership or feel free to call us here at the education department or even in web services. Any one of us can answer your question on what your member number is, and we will gladly help you out with that. Had somebody here, somebody bragging on their 8 for 8 and how well it went. Glad to hear that. So awesome. We had somebody here that they've done a 2.0 already that had 80 people sign up for their bowling 2.0. Wonderful, wonderful. All right. I see some of you are on their mobile phones with their iPads. Yes, regretfully, you cannot vote yet on the iPad version of the GoToMeetings, hopefully sometime in the near future. The question is, how do you change your password for the MyBPAA? I believe you'd have to do that through the web services, but we will definitely get back with you on that so that you can find out for sure. So as we have a few more questions here, I'm going to remove all the hands, and it looks like we have low enough attendance that anybody wants to raise their hand and ask an audio question, I should be able to let you ask your question. Anybody? Wow, no questions so far. Well, let me send you that link. And let me get it here. Here you are. In your chat box, you now have a link to download all the materials. And in there, let me show you what's in that box. Refresh this. There is well, let me show you what's in that box. But I'll tell you what I will do. I am going to show you the 75 files that you get from the management school. If you attend management school, here you see all of this. Those are all files that you get. We're giving you 8 files today, and there are 6 in that Dropbox. I wonder if I can click that link and it'll open it. There you go. Show my screen. Let's see it open this up for this. I'd click the link just like you guys would, and see if it will open. There we go. It's showing the 2. There's also some more files in there. If they're not there now, I'll double check and I'll make sure all the files are in there before before the hour is up. Any more questions? League versus clubs when it comes to new league bowlers. Any thoughts? Great question. Leagues versus clubs. It's a little bit of that is syntax. Most people will consider a club to be a short type season league, not using the name league. There's other ways of looking at the club versus league. Gerald, I'm going to unmute you here and let's see if you can clarify your question for me. Hey Gerald, how are you today?
Good. How's it going?
Great. So tell me what's your question about league versus club when it comes to new leagues. What's your question?
We've just noticed that like rolling bowlers over from an 8-for-8 and ball clubs and stuff like that to get them into something that's more of a league type structure. If we just call it a fun club or a short season club or a summer club, that they're more inclined to join. Whereas if we say, oh, it's a fun league, that term league still kind of scares them. It's like you said, it's more about the syntax and how you kind of market it and propose it to those new league bowlers.
I tend to agree, Gerald. I have the same thought process on that, and kind of wish Colin Kirshner was here. Colin has a proprietor up in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I believe they have one league, finger quotes in air, in their bowling center, and the rest is all clubs of some sort. Again, trying to match to their customer base. They are an FEC, so when it comes to them, even though they have the one league, which is a competitive league, the rest are clubs. It's a lottery club and different things like that. And again, it really is more about the syntax. Great, thank you, Gerald.
That's kind of what we've...
Yeah. I didn't mute you. You still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right. Well, we're going to move on here. Thank you so much, Gerald, for your question. Any other questions, please feel free to raise your hand. Obviously, the verbal is working. Sorry if you missed the beginning of the whole seminar. It will be recorded and placed on bowlinguniversity.net later today for you can go back and review all the information. I know that's not uncommon that some people have difficulty getting in or schedules don't allow for it. The next question we had here was from Lewis Sims asking about the person who had 80 people in their 2.0. What did you charge for it? I'm actually going to go back here, find out who it was real quick, and I'm going to unmute you. You know who you are, so be prepared here. Here you are, Paula. Let me find you here. Where are you? Here. There you are. And Paula, you are unmuted, so be careful what you say. Hi, Paula. Are you there, Paula? Paula. Says you're still here. Well, I was going to let her answer. The answer is no charge. She didn't charge anything. That's why she got the 80 people there. And Lewis, I saw your question, but the idea of having the 2.2.0 is it goes back to the old Skill Center presentation. If you can get them in and get them excited about bowling and get them bowling better, they're going to keep coming back. So that is really a nice way to do it. I've seen more people go free on that than they actually have been charging. Next question was, does Bowling 2.0 program require a coach to work with bowlers on the lane? And for that, I'm actually going to open up the mic for Bart Berger, who's actually one of the people who helped build the program. Bart, can you hear me? You need to unmute yourself there, Bart. I've unmuted you, but you have not unmuted yourself, so unmute yourself there. I'll give him a second here. There he is.
Okay, thanks, Kelly.
Tell us.
The program Bowling 2.0 is designed to be instructed by a level 1 coach, but there's a proprietor guide and a coaching guide that goes with it, so it's certainly not a prerequisite that somebody is a bronze level certified. It's more about getting new people into the building, sampling the great sport of bowling. So while it's coaching driven, it's more proprietor and marketing driven.
Great. It's a great program to know that you don't necessarily need a high-end coach, because I know a lot of bowling centers struggle with gaining those people. Let me see here. We have any more hands in the air? I saw Mary D had her hand up, and then she took it back down. If we don't have any more questions, we have another input from Paula on her Bowling 2.0. She says she advertised the program as a $146 value, and since they got an hour of free bowling each week and free shoes and free instruction. So calculating the time of bowling, the amount of free shoes, and the instruction, calculated as 4 weeks, gave you $146 of value at no charge. So the next question for Paula would be, Paula, if we can try this again, let's see if we can, you're still unmuted, I just can't hear you, but if you can unmute yourself, maybe we can have you give us some feedback on how many of those people actually rolled over into the next program. Okay. All right. We just got an update that Paula cannot speak. She's doing it through a voice over internet and doesn't have a microphone. But hey, we thought we'd try. All righty. So if there's no other questions, Mary, there's Mary D. She's got her hand back up again. Hi, Mary D. Welcome.
Hello, how are you doing?
We're good. What's your question today?
You know what, I don't have a question. I just wanted to put some input in on your BPA management school. Absolutely loved it. Anybody who has not been in attendance definitely should. After 20 years of doing this, I learned so much, and it was well worth the money spent.
Why, thank you. That was not a paid solicitation. We thank you for that. No. and thank you for the birthday present. I'll see you in a couple of months.
Awesome.
All right. Thank you.
All right.
Take care. Okay, now we got David Myers. David, what's your question? If you got yourself muted, David, I can't hear you. But if you want to type in your question, we'll be happy to answer it. We got about 2 more minutes left before we'll call this a session. If you have any more questions? Paula. Okay. Okay, Paula, let me try this again. Paula says she's got her mic working now. Can you hear me now, Paula? No, can't hear you. So maybe. Okay, let me see if I can find David Myers' question here. Okay, here's his question. Our center does great summer league play during the weekdays, but we tend to struggle on the weekends. I'm assuming this is in the summer. Any suggestion for weekend summer leagues in the summer? Being from the Northeast and the weather is at its best, it's hard to get people in the door. I think, David, this might be a great time, if that's the case, to do the Managers Invitational League, where you would do something where you invite people there and you're structuring all the invitations to try to get people to come in there. They feel special about doing it. Another one that we actually talk about in much more depth at the management school might be an employee invitational league, where the employees get the friends and family. They can bring their employee to bring in their family they get to bowl with a family member, things of that nature. Lots of those ideas are in the Best Practices Guide. I definitely suggest you download that and see if there's anything in there that does apply. All right, we have just a couple seconds left. We have, like I said, I had 2 minutes left, and my clock says that it's now exactly that time. We thank everyone for coming, and if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us at BPAA Education. You can reach us through bowlinguniversity.net. at education@bpa.com or through the 800 number at 800-343-1329. My extension is 8462. Miss Sherry's extension is 8431. But if you call the switchboard and say you want BPA education, they'll gladly send you straight to us. We do appreciate everybody coming today. Thank you for the wonderful questions and filling out the polls. As you leave, please remember to fill out that quick survey so that we can make our sessions better for next month. Look for us again in April. Date to be determined by you. Thank you again.